Hello!
Hello!
Welcome back to Rain World Wanderers. In today's episode, hopefully we find the echo at the top of the wall, since we got to the wall last time.
Of course.
We've pinned 30 out of 40 creatures to walls or floors.
Three.
I'm an
We've
idiot.
pinned
Three. Three. Sorry, I'm massively overestimating.
I was like, oh my god, we did so many already.
I'm massively overestimating my capabilities.
Which can be super funny, because sometimes you really need to progress, and so you just say, like, they decided not to talk that day or something.
I like it when the DM comes up with like a silly reason. Me and I used to do like what's it called? Like just it wasn't D&D, but it was like D&D, like when your friends are just like messing around,
I
just kind of like role play with your friends.
just like an improv,
Right, just an
kinda...
improv like story session. I used to do that with my friends back in high school, and I would improv that kind of thing all the time. I'd be like the DM, you know, it was super loose, like it wasn't anywhere close to what D&D is. We didn't have numbers or anything. I would just make it up on the fly what was happening.
Yeah.
But watch for the job work here.
Right. And we want to... I know there's the Echo back in Canopy, but
yes.
we're more or less just exploring right now, right?
Right. Actually, that reminds me, Scorched District is sadly gone because it's one of the conflict regions that we'll have to fix on a second playthrough.
Had to be done.
But there is another region, I believe, up here. So we can actually go into Five Pebbles and then go past him, and there should be something up here. We don't want to talk to him just yet because then we won't be able to complete pilgrimage.
Correct.
Do.
There he is.
Oh, this guy. I don't feel like dealing with him.
Yeah.
Oh, he left the fruit as like a
Oh,
bait.
that sly guy. Look at that. And we can't hit him from this angle quite so easily. So.
Right, yeah, that's nasty. We'll find more fruit up here. What time is it?
Oh yeah, we didn't even check the cycle.
Yeah, you want to get into the habit of doing that.
It can be helpful.
You know about corner boosting, right?
I do. For some reason, I didn't get the boost off that specific turn, and I was feeling embarrassed.
I'm just curious. Oh, we got a bad boy up here. Oh, he took the debris from my hand.
What? There we go.
We did some practice last night with our
A little bit of takedown practice worked out.
yummy.
And here's our last bit.
Delicious. Time to go to Orange Hell.
Geez. Yeah.
What the? That happens occasionally. Have you noticed?
It seems to be. I will get like the smallest bit of lag. Like it's strange because it doesn't even stand out as a moment of weirdness.
Oh my god.
Until after the
Okay,
fact.
I'm not. There's like no way up there.
Yeah. We're trying to be cool.
If kind of feels like this, just a suicidal. Wait a minute. Okay. Suicidal jump there.
Certainly one that's needlessly risky. Whoa.
I love the
Yes.
sound of like the little transport pipes.
And it fits. It's not intrusive, but it's
Right.
so like distinct that it's so informative.
So distinct. It's it's iconic at this point. Like
It fits in with the ambience for sure.
Got him.
We need 3 spheres to...
We do. Oh my. Oh dear jeez.
Oh!
That's really bad.
I will rescue you.
Good luck. There I go. Nope, that's that.
Okay. Well.
Ugh. Well, that's fine.
Orange lizards. I forgot that they work really well together, which is goofy because that's their whole shtick.
Right.
But you know.
Yeah, oranges are definitely my favorite because they can be weird at times, but they can be scarily competent when their AIs.
Oh, there's a proper room right there.
Oh yeah, I see him. We're gonna have to face him then.
Yeah.
All right, I'll lure.
Uh.
Oh, okay. You threw the rock.
I did.
Cool.
Dinner.
Wait. Drawbacks are 3. Interesting.
Yeah, they feel like they should be worth a little bit more.
Nah, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah. But sometimes they insta-kill. I feel, I guess
Right,
it's
fair
not
enough.
danger, but
It's
more
more
about
like a
the-
hazard than it is an enemy.
I guess big jumps don't necessarily feed you anything.
Right. Trying to think, yeah, I just got that.
Yeah,
I
throwing
do-
all my creative observations out there today.
I'm just gonna eat this jump.
So this is a little off topic, but I've been thinking about it recently because I explained to you earlier, I'm looking around for an earbud, essentially.
Right.
And as a kid, you know, you'd look for advice from older, wiser people. And something that really annoyed me when I got slightly older and I started to think about what was said,
Yeah.
I was looking for something and somebody said, yeah, it's weird how things are always in the last place you look. And when I first heard that,
Just a second. Yeah, you keep talking,
when I first heard that, I was like, that is weird. Why is that? And years passed, and I was always very humbled by that thought. And then eventually I went, oh, you know what?
Wait.
When you find something, you don't look anywhere else. So the last place you look, of course, that's where it's. It was frustrating because it's so obvious when you think about it for even a second.
Wait, hold on. Like, state the whole problem one more time, because I'm trying to wrap my head
Right.
around it.
Right. So essentially, you, my
Right.
good friend, you are looking for something,
Okay.
and you know you left it here. You left it
Right.
right here, but you
Okay.
can't find it. So you're looking around, and eventually you find it.
Oh,
So you
there
pick it up,
is.
and you're like, hooray! And you go back to the really wise person that before said, it's weird, you know, it's always in the last place you look. Well, if I found it right here,
Right.
this is the last place I looked.
Uh,
So it's always going to be the last place I looked.
uh,
Of course it's going to happen. That's how it works. Unless
oh,
I pick it up and I look somewhere else for it when it's in my hand. Anyway.
That's
I felt really goofy
that.
when I finally
I
clicked
feel
in my
goofy
head
now.
like, oh yeah.
I feel goofy now. That's
It's
the most obvious
it's a
thing.
goof, it's one of those
Was that
goofy-
intentional? Was that like, did they do that on purpose, like as a joke? Like, oh, it's always
Oh,
the
they
last place you
definitely
look.
did. This must have been like my grandfather or some other jokester, you know, with jokes in their blood.
I could see the potential for like another like 2 types of people meme, where it's like there are 2 types of people: people who say that as like a joke, and people who say that like actually meaning it.
Yeah, people who say that passing down the family wisdom.
Oh, here we go. I expected him
Yep.
to. Oh, whoops. Here we go.
I'm okay.
Fall.
He's gonna- Come on, buddy.
We gotta climb, because it's.
Yeah. We don't have tons of time.
Oh,
Second.
I come back on up.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going.
Come on, buddy.
Ooh.
You're not worth the time.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, I'm trying to switch back. There we go.
Alright.
Sometimes the camera switching can be a little buggy.
It's working out though.
Yeah, I think it just has to do with the loading times thing. I don't like that. You know. Oh.
I think it's still.
Ugh. This is a super short cycle.
Yeah.
Are we above
We could
like
just head back down. Like we're able to do that.
Yeah, we could just do that. We could build our karma more. Not that it matters. It's not like we're gonna instant dead.
True.
He actually came down here. You can see the blood trail.
Yeah. I wonder where he went. Probably in some. Oh, there's a blood trail out there.
Oh. Oh, he fell. He fell.
R.I.P.
If he was already injured, there's no way he didn't fall off the pole eventually.
True. Wait, but there's blood here too. No, that was bugs.
There is a blue down here somewhere, so we gotta be careful.
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh boy. We better hurry up. Oh.
Oh, oh.
Oh, it's going.
See you.
Ooh.
Just drop one. Yeah.
I'll get.
After you. After you. After you. All right. Just one.
We got this. We got this.
Yeah, this is fine. This is the end.
Oh shit. Of course I do this. Oh, why do I gotta do this? Alright. This is where the ring comes out, actually. Okay. Home sweet home.
Good night.
Good night. I like the shelter a lot, actually. Feels like it was built for Jolly.
It does. You can have up to 4 players, right?
Right. So it's like 4 little rooms.
Did you ever get any sage advice that really sticks with you?
Sage advice?
Yeah, just like somebody who, for them it was kind of offhanded, but for you it really impacted how you thought about something.
I'm trying to think.
Kind of putting you on the spot.
No. That's a good question. My grandfather, before he passed, he, I remember once we were driving in the car, and we had a running joke about this, like, radio tower, where it was like, oh, it's a mind control tower, you know?
Of course.
It was like a fun little joke we had. Like every time we drove past the fast food place that we used to go to, we would see it and we go, oh, it's the mind control tower. And one day I posed this query like, I wonder if that actually is a mind control tower. And we just don't know it because we're mind controlled by it. You know, it was like a fun.
No, that would be totally reasonable to assume.
And he said, well, if it was, would we have to? Would it be a problem? And I asked, well, what do you mean? He said, well, I mean, it's clear that even though the mind control tower is mind controlling us, it doesn't really have an effect on our lives, does it? And it didn't really click with me yet, so I was like, well, I mean, I guess so, but wouldn't you want to know if you were mind controlled? And then what he said that really sticks with me to this day is, I believe it's something along the lines of, well, sometimes that's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's not like you can change it. Like, if you were mind controlled,
Oh.
right, yeah, that's what he said. He said, if you were mind controlled, what would you do about it? And I realized that, like, there was nothing I could do about it. And it was weirdly comforting.
Yeah, there's always like a kind of, I don't want to say backhanded, but there's a almost underhanded comfort that comes with
Right.
powerlessness. And I
Right.
think that's why a lot of people, you know, when a huge opportunity comes up, sometimes they're like, well, that's a lot of responsibility. Like, that's, I know that'd be great for me, probably, but, whoa, whoa,
Come here,
oh,
buddy. Come here. Oh, wow.
all right.
That's quite a lot of lizards.
Yes.
Come on up, come on up, come on.
Yes, it
Do it, do it.
is. Ooh, ooh. Like
They're
now,
all
like
fighting over
I
you.
don't have any responsibility now,
Right, you're
and
just
I'm
chilling.
free of anything that happens here.
Jeez. Where'd the body go? Oh, it's right there.
Okay, I'll do a little dance for you.
Got him. Alright. Let's see if I can get us above. Well, first I gotta eat one of these guys.
Yeah.
Did I take out one of the leaves?
It's also, oh man, it's also kind of the idea of the Matrix, right? Like, what if you're just in a simulation, or
Right. Spoilers for the Matrix, by the way.
I will say I think there's an expiration date on some movies.
Right, like if you haven't seen Star Wars: A New Hope by now, or like if you haven't seen Empire Strikes Back by now, like he's his father.
It's become a part of pop culture, and now
Right.
you have to deal with that.
It's kind of sad actually that not a lot of people experience Vader, like being like that reveal. Right?
Yeah, because that quote
damn.
is what's remembered about the movie.
It's like damn, okay, like the spoil. It's like forever spoiled almost.
Yeah. Or like
Anyway, what were you saying before about the Matrix?
Oh no, it's so I had the privilege of attending a philosophy class in college. Whoa, look at me.
Yep.
But what that equates to is you're given a whole bunch of generalized questions, and you're told, here's what people think about them. Like,
Right.
somebody thought a long time ago, it'd be strange if we were all brains in jars. Well, what we know today is that how we see the world kind of runs through our brain. So we're kind of brains in jars, right?
Right.
And it kind of puts in perspective this idea of, I mean, like you were saying, this idea of the amount of control we have over our own lives, and
Yikes.
well, and how, because at a point we can only do so much, and there's a degree of powerlessness, how much responsibility do you have to feel when things don't always work out?
That's a strong point.
Well, it's comforting to me. It's kind of this idea of, would you rather be omnipotent and capable of altering the very fabric of the universe to make things perfect, or does that take kind of the spice out of life? If everything's always perfect, you know, what's the point of
That kind of turns into an argument
pursuing?
for being immortal, though, right?
Say that again?
If you're doesn't that kind of turn into the argument for like being immortal? Like,
Elaborate. Like, what's...
Oh shit!
Oh.
Go down the pipe. Go down the pipe. Shit! 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 Nope! 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 I didn't push up, dude. I didn't push up. I swear to God.
I believe you.
I was not holding up.
So, what's this whole thing about immortality?
Well, the immortality thing is, people always say, like, if you could be immortal, right, and, like, live forever,
Yeah.
would you or would you not? And the answer is almost always no, right? Because, like, oh, if you were immortal, then you'd be miserable, because you'd live forever, and then you'd get, like, bored of life, and you wouldn't have anything to do. And I honestly disagree. If I had the opportunity to be immortal, I mean, think about the implications of that, right? Like, immortal. You live forever. And by that logic, you would be able to do anything. Right?
I think my concern would be that my only concern, because I see what you're saying. Like, you could do things without the fear of death.
Not only doing them without the fear of death, but you could literally could have like lifetime, like thousands, millions of lifetimes of work and knowledge put into not only like understanding more about the universe, but like augmenting yourself to become more powerful. Or like, well, think about it, right? You make yourself more like capable of understanding the knowledge. You turn yourself into like a god basically, because you can just study any science and become an expert in it and have that knowledge retained.
You become enlightened, essentially, is what you're saying.
Right, like you could spend all your time researching until eventually you basically become a god. Like, you can research anything as much as you want. And this is where the fun part comes in. Once you're fully, like, powerful, everyone's like, well, then what are you going to do? And you can create your own universes, make your own stories, right? If you have total control of matter and you know exactly how to manipulate it in just the right ways, why not just set it up so that you are, like, you can live through multiple realities or universes and live out your own stories, your own interesting ideas, your own universes with their own rules. You could just erase your memory and live through one and then wake up and be in a different, be back in like the normal reality and choose a new one.
I'm gonna jump back over there real quick.
Yeah, do that.
I think, so as kind of a sidebar to that kind of idea, the fact that we're able to discuss that idea, right? Like,
Right.
we can imagine a world where somebody is so powerful they can create their own universe,
Right.
etc. And we also know that there are certain limitations that exist that we kind of place on ourselves, or tools we don't use for whatever reason, but exist out there, like storytelling. We can tell a story, we can create kind of this entire narrative. My question is, at what point does it matter what's real, what's fake? Like, if you want to create the world in your image, or become all powerful, or what have you, like, you can tell that story.
Right.
What's the value in the realism of it, right? Like, what do you gain from actually living it as opposed to imagining it, right?
Well, you're able to gain the experience of like the real and unmistakable quality of that experience. And this is where it gets weird. What if you are that being, right? How do you know you aren't just a being that got bored and decided to wipe its memory and live in an alternate universe, and this is
You
it?
don't know what you don't know.
Exactly, you
Ooh,
don't know what you
exactly.
don't know. But that idea of like you're actually something living in that alternate way. Oh dear. I was ready to save you there.
Which I appreciate.
Oh my
Ooh.
god. Get destroyed. Ooh. Ah! Oh dear.
Nice.
Oh my god. Ah, I'm going down. Is this screen transition?
Yeah, this is one of those cases that
That was smart. He's backing up with his head facing out.
yeah.
That was actually really smart. He like retreated with his head facing into the tunnel so that I couldn't hit him with the spear. We
He's
found the highest
adapted.
IQ lizard.
Maybe he was the leader. I wonder if that's how that.
Nah, he pretty short. I think it was just a coincidence. I don't think that was intentional.
Yeah, but I mean, this goes back to that case of, is this just a story, or is it real, and what does it matter
Right.
if we imagine that he's the smartest lizard?
Right. Does it matter that we imagine? I mean, we know that technically, this is where we get to the line of like whether or not you believe that the truth is important. Well, maybe not that, but whether or not you believe the truth is entirely necessary for living. You know? Like, it's good to know that truth. It's important to is it important to know the truth of like the lizard isn't actually that smart. Like you can pretend, oh yeah, the lizard is like super smart and he like did that because he's intelligent. He blocked because he did it on purpose. And the argument is like he kind of if you say, oh, it was just a technical issue that caused it to seem like that way, that takes the magic out of it, like the excitement out of that moment. And is that a good thing? Is it important to know the truth? Like, where's the line between like whether or not excitement is acceptable and fine, and where it becomes a problem to not know it?
Does it matter that we don't know we're being mind controlled if it doesn't seem to cause any pain or strife? Or...
See, that's the difficulty, but I would want to know. That's the tough part of it, is that despite the moral okayness of it, we wouldn't really know.
I'd want to know too. That's
right,
weird,
that's
isn't
weird,
it? Like,
isn't
we
it? It's
can
like
understand
there's no moral issue, but we still want to know. Like that quest for knowledge is something I think unique to humans.
There's always a curiosity. Oh,
This stupid thing. You don't have to worry about rain up here.
Rain down here? Yeah.
Nope. We're above the clouds. Okay, this is where the terrible pole plants are.
There's freaking pole plants.
The pole plants. Go, up we go. I'm just gonna...
Me too.
Do, 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 Alright. I'll just do some...
I'm not too concerned about it. I like the idea of this being memorialized forever on the internet.
Yeah, I think that's actually kind of had the appeal for me too, is like this epic journey, almost no one will see it, but the fact that it exists, for anyone who's watching, hi.
Hi.
For anyone who's watched our journey to this point, if you are there and you are
You're
watching,
one of the special
hi.
few. You're super special.
Because like this is just a dumb little like journey between friends. Hey, shelter. But the fact that it's memorialized, I feel, makes it like almost like I don't know how to say it, like it's being recorded, like written down in like a book of legends or something.
We have been permanently added to humanity's cumulative.
That's a fun way to look at it. You know, and it's just a silly little like let's play that no one will watch, but at the same time, it's like knowing that it's there and knowing it's kind of actually it's kind of cosmically terrifying if you think about it, because it's like
Terrifying?
No, because like technically this isn't permanent, and like isn't it weird that the fact that we will be remembered is all it takes for us to enjoy this more? Like
I don't think so.
If it isn't, I mean, we definitely enjoy it without having to record it. But it's interesting that like the satisfaction of it being recorded is even existent, right?
Because we know that ultimately it's not going to matter. Well, here's my take, right? I think you and I both enjoy stories, right?
Right.
And oh, yeah, hello, guy.
Oh my god.
Oh, 2 guys? Make it 2?
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Oh,
he's still alive.
Here's the thing. Thanks for coming. We both enjoy stories.
Yes. The story of the 2 white lizards.
The fact that we both enjoy stories is not resting upon if that story relates to us, if that story is going to impact our lives or other people's lives. Like, you don't think about that when you're participating in receiving a story.
Interesting. I think I get what you're saying.
And because of that, I think it's also probably true that whether or not this moment is written down in some cosmic encyclopedia, the enjoyment of the story remains, right? At least for us.
You're right. You know what? You're right. That's something I think I can understand.
And returning to the value of having an immortal existence, the value of being forever and untouchable and infallible. I always return to the idea that because life is known to be pretty short,
Yeah.
the life that we know for sure we got,
Look at
it's
that.
let's sit here for a second.
Yeah, this is a good place.
Because life is short, it's infinitely more immediate to us. It matters more because we know it could end, or because we know that it's probably going to.
I see. So it matters a lot more to us because we know it will end one day.
A show that has 12 seasons is usually not great all the way through.
You're right. Family Guy.
Family Guy is a great example.
I actually like the first few seasons, and then it just kind of gets bad.
And I think if life had 100 seasons,
Yeah.
eventually, I don't know that we'd get sick of it. I think that with human creativity, an infinite life would have infinite different stories, like you're saying. A whole bunch of different lifetimes could be lived, but none of them would matter as much as one life that a person's playing out with all of their being, right?
Right. I think I do think I understand that. Like a single person's life that is short is worth more because it doesn't last forever, and therefore they can make the fullest out of that existence. Or they make the it's not worth more, but it has more like meaning because that person can't do everything, and yet they still choose to do like everything they can do.
My favorite kind of story is when the person you're following is up against unbeatable odds and they continue to exist despite that. When somebody is faced with a disease that they're never going to be able to overcome,
It's sad.
it's sad, but
It's like you can fight it.
they still live, right? Like,
There's
for all intents and purposes, there's no point, quote unquote, but obviously there is. Like, every moment that exists, in spite of the fact that the universe will stop existing, matters. And there's a value there that just doesn't. I don't know where it comes from, or if it comes from somewhere, but.
Well, maybe it comes from that inherent need, or maybe it comes from that inherent, like, intrinsic fact that it ends. Like, this world is actually a perfect example. I mean, look out across the clouds. These are all beings that are forced to live forever. And it's weird because in the goal of this universe, I really like the interpretation, because in our universe, our goal is to try and extend our lifespans and live as long as possible. And in this universe, the goal is to die. You know, like,
forced to continue.
these things around us have existed for, like, probably billions of cycles. Like, these giant machines have been basically built to live forever, and they want to die, but they can't die. And they're forced to try and solve the issue of death, and it's fascinating because it's like we seek the exact opposite. So it almost feels as though, like, if we were immortal forever, this is probably how we would be. We would be trying to figure out how to die, and it makes you wonder, like, is the fact that you don't have something the reason we seek it? And if so, does that justify perhaps remaining content with how you are?
You know, some people say the ending of Rain World is boring, which
It kind of
always gets me. Because yeah, it is. But that's what ending is, when
right. It's just over.
you don't have an expectation for the life itself. That's what ending is, when the person you've been playing as doesn't value every moment that they're living in, right?
You're right.
It just ends.
It just goes. I mean, I honestly am not really sure, because I feel like, you know, the karma symbols and the detachment from life that the ancients demonstrated is, I honestly don't think they are correct in their beliefs of, like, wanting to disconnect from the world and wanting to detach themselves from worldly desires. Because, as far as we know, slugcats live through all those things. They live through the karma symbols of, like, they want to survive. And they're still able to ascend, no problem. And so I wonder if the idea of this world is less that living is suffering, therefore you should die, and it's more living is suffering, but in that experience of survival, you can find contentment. It kind of hammers it home with the gameplay. Like, the gameplay is brutal and rough, and, like, not everyone is suited for it. But at the same time, the players who, like, stay dedicated, play it for, like, are willing to suffer through its, like, brutal and often unfair world for hours at a time. And that kind of strikes me.
Do we want to hit the echo right now? Can we?
We
we
can.
survive
We'll just go
today,
back
we
down,
will.
and then we go back up. Because if we want to cross Five Pebbles.
Is there a shelter to the right that's nearer to here?
It's just the one across the city.
True. Would you rather climb or walk to the left?
Climb or walk to the left? Well, we've got all the time in the world.
Or to the right? Why don't we walk? Let's take a
let's just
walk.
The view of the city in the background is probably great for continued philosophical discussion.
After you?
Yeah, we're full, so we can eat. Then we can get to the shelter
And walk on back.
like this. Like, the city is just empty.
I think the first time, so my first playthrough, this is how I got to Five Pebbles. Like, I did not, I think, before I had left the game for the first time, because just like everybody else, I left the game after I got frustrated and then I came back.
Right.
Very first experience, I got to unfortunate development, and then I just kind of got stuck, and I got fed up, and I left for a while. And then the second time, this is where I came through. And I did not really take in the background as much as I was looking out for vultures or something.
Right. It was weird. I had this weird... I think I took in the background a lot. I actually picked up this game... I saw this game over the years, and then I picked it up, like, this year, and I started playing it, and I loved the fuck out of it, even when it was, like, horribly difficult. Because I just have a thing for survival games that are horribly difficult, like Alien Isolation. I love that. I love hardcore Minecraft. I love anything that's, like, brutally just grinds you into the dirt.
It makes you feel that much better when you overcome it.
Right. And so, going through unfortunate development, because of course, the recursive transfer rate is like hidden to the left. So, you have to usually you go through unfortunate development without realizing there's like a safer path to go. But beating unfortunate development and then encountering Five Pebbles was honestly the moment that, I've been playing the game for 12 hours. I had how many hours? Not even 12, 30 hours of gameplay. Encountering Five Pebbles, going into his chamber, and seeing him was when I fell in love with the game, I think. Because just swimming through that huge area with all the neurons floating everywhere and the music just blasting in the background.
Yeah.
And it felt like I really just connected with the experience. And then coming out on the city was the moment that I realized, I truly realized that I fell in love. Because it cemented the idea of the brutality of the world. I still didn't really know what the hell had happened to these people. We don't really need to do that because we're just gonna go back to the shelter. But it'll be back tomorrow anyway. It doesn't matter. God. Anyway, I could talk for hours about this game's themes and imagery, but I won't.
Let me bring up when I fell in love, because it's totally different, I think.
Go for it.
So this is kind of a two-parter, both of which had to do with water. The first was in Drainage, where I kept dying. And eventually I realized that nobody was going to judge me for taking 40 attempts to clear one leech section. Nobody was going to be holding me accountable.
For
so
sure.
I just popped on a podcast, and I spent hours trying to beat...
Right, oh, I remember you told me this. Yeah.
And I really love that, because obviously the feeling of the movement in this game is amazing. It feels amazing just to be interacting with it. But also the feeling of isolation
Beautiful.
is very zen, because you get to take this moment for yourself, and you're you're with your own thoughts. And that was a brilliant moment for me. It's exactly what I needed at the time. Well, the second part of me falling in love with the game, of course, is when I met Moon. Now, I was pretty full, but I wasn't all the way full. And holding that neuron in my hand and discovering that I could eat it was wonderful. So I did. I ate the neuron.
No. Oh,
and
no.
I stopped, and I looked at Moon, and I went, "Nice to meet you," and I, went to bed. Well, then I got the painting of Moon in pain, and that was the worst.
Yeah.
I had just met the first, friendly creature in this world, and I had hurt it immediately.
Yeah. It's a powerful moment.
And you don't know how to make it right.
Right. That's the worst part, is not knowing how to apologize to this thing.
I did not have, to my knowledge, the capability to make it right. And so I had to walk through the rest of my playthrough knowing I had hurt Moon and not knowing how to make it right? So I'm sat there, I'm like, man, this feels kind of bad. But then I saw Five Pebbles.
Right.
And I immediately understood. I didn't know any of the lore, but I saw what was essentially Moon, but surrounded by neurons. And keep in mind, I did not eat a single one. I thought I would hurt Five Pebbles, but
Yeah, he deserves to be hurt.
Well, but all I understood was that... Do we want to go up here?
Right. But yeah, I kind of felt the same way. I didn't eat Moon's neurons because I touched them and she felt pain.
I didn't even realize that.
Right, I picked up on that right away. I was like, oh shit. like she started screaming, and I was like, oh. But in that way, like when I went to Five Pebbles and I saw all the neurons in my brain, it was like, is this the same being? Is this the same kind of being? Because if it is, like, taking one can't hurt. That's a new opening on the right.
Yes, it is.
I think our philosophical jargon might be over.
I think our attention is locked
Ooh.
in here.
Ooh. Where's this bring us? What?
That's cool.
We need lust to get in. So we can pass right through Five Pebbles. Wherever this takes us. This is our first custom region.
I really enjoyed that Rain World let me feel it and not know how to fix it. Because, I mean, that's something you encounter everywhere, but you're not usually forced to sit with it.
Yeah. There's very few games that treat you like intellectually anymore, and I think Rain World is one of those games. Oh man, I miss better shelters already.
I don't know, this is kind of cozy.
So we have more karma, at least, in preparation
Yeah.
for this new area.
I hope we don't lose it immediately.
Yeah, we're gonna lose it immediately. I can already tell.
Yeah.
If this region has anything like that blue lizard thing, that we're totally screwed.
That was a death flag, just so you know.
Ooh. The back wall? What?
You think that's a pole plant?
Oh.
Check out that music.
I'm hype. Oh, this is so cool. I'm kind of apprehensive going down this wall.
Oh, for sure.
This is scary.
Yeah.
Eat the fruit.
Yeah.
We're above the rain. We know that at least.
Well, certainly. We could get those other fruits. I think they're good to move forward.
Oh. I love that instrument. This is where we start reviewing the region.
Yeah.
The back wall, interesting.
So far, just the fact that it's willing to essentially say, yeah, that cool thing you love with that beautiful site, we're gonna do it again, but it's gonna be all new.
Right,
all
like
new,
new.
baby.
That's what I love, the hype, the adventure, the excitement. Okay, so let's eat
We
this
did
guy.
eat him.
And then we'll head through, because we do want to get down to a shelter before the cycle is over. No shelters here.
Dangers.
We're probably going to have to run into some oranges soon, if this is at all similar.
Consistent.
I feel like there would be a pole plant here in an alternate universe.
Yeah, that was the front wall.
You're right. The front wall, the back wall. That's an
So
interesting.
it looks like we can go over here, but there's also a way to do it on the outside, which is
Oh.
interesting.
Watch for drop wigs.
Yeah.
That makes me think of drop wigs. Oh shit. We're heading down. Are you good?
Yep.
You just traumatized from the fall.
A little bit.
down.
So the only enemy we've encountered so far is that blue lizard.
Right. It makes me think. That kind of freaks me out, actually. Whoa.
Yeah.
Look at
Just
that.
to go to the left here. Oh my god.
That's
Okay, I
so
hear lizards.
cool looking on the right.
This is okay. So at Shoreline with the Leviathan, there's a whole bunch of things in the background that look like this. I thought they were Leviathans, but
Oh, they're like fallen down versions of this.
crazy cool.
That's awesome, dude. God, the mod creators. Damn.
There's no way we can touch that.
Right.
They wouldn't let us do that.
Wow.
And yet.
That's so cool.
We can touch it. We can touch it. It exists.
Oh my god,
This
there's like
exists.
a little spot there that you can climb in. And then there's the wires that stop you. That's excellent. Oh boy, this is harrowing.
Yeah.
Oh. I want to try and stay on the inside here. We gotta speed it up.
We're good for food.
You are correct.
Uh,
Oh, we gotta climb up to the right here.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Makes you interact with it more than just falling down.
Mm.
Unless, I mean, I guess it's possible that people could just
On the
fall
right.
down
I don't want to think about that.
I'm not a speedrunner, to be clear.
Also, the usage of proper death fades is welcome.
Yes.
On the bottom of the screen. Oh, we got another nasty.
Yeah.
Whoops. Oh. Ah, he got me. We got him.
Yeah.
White. Where'd he go?
You see another guy?
Oh, there he is. Oh,
Okay.
shit. He's pretty much dead.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, that's a pin. This is weird. Alright. Oh, wow. This is nasty. Okay, he's going down. There's a shelter here.
What's popping?
Oh, they're fighting. Nice.
Cool. Look at this shelter. I mean, the shelter itself, whatever. But look at that.
The old, I like the shadows. I like the big fan in the upper left.
Yeah.
Games like Alien Isolation, I always liked. I kind of wish that there was like a version of that game where you could have like food.
Like this?
You need to eat. Right. Have you ever played Alien Isolation?
I feel like I have, but I know I haven't bought it. So it was either with a friend or I just watched it online so much that.
It is one of those games. It's like this one. It critically panned. You know, they hated it. Thought it was the worst. It was too hard.
But it built an atmosphere and you loved
Right.
it.
Built an atmosphere. This kind of feels like an echo of a higher area. Alright, I'm actually going to focus for a second. You know it's a good custom region when it feels like vanilla. But like, with new stuff brought to the table.
For sure.
Okay. That could have very easily been just death.
Nice.
Adds food. A fine luncheon.
A fine luncheon. Go ahead, grab a spear.
Uh,
Oh.
from... Okay, I'll just... Oh my god!
Let's go. I don't even want to
That's
look
horrible.
at
That's horrible. I hate that so much. Also, I like the forecast rain indicating that we are, in fact, below the clouds.
it, for sure.
That is a drop wig.
Where? Oh,
See
yes,
where the
it
food is left?
Good eye.
It was left. Oh, what the hell? I didn't fall below you.
I missed you guys.
Oh, he's going.
Yeah.
Now I'm paranoid about seeing me. Oh, there he is.
Yeah. Can we climb over? No.
Nope. We could go over under like this.
We can probably go to the right. Yeah.
There we go.
Maybe we'll just do another one though.
Oh, that's a.
Here.
Ooh, this feels like underhand.
is familiar.
This wrap around to
familiar?
underhand?
This
Ooh.
feels wrong.
This feels wrong?
Yeah, this feels like it should be indoors and spooky and scary.
Kind of. It's weird. What is this? This looks like the
It
leg,
feels like
actually.
the leg, but outdoors.
Weird. What?
Into garbage?
Okay, now, see, at first I was like, that's kind of strange, but now I'm intrigued.
Yo.
What?
Okay, let's go down here.
Alright, my interest is peaking. It's like garbage waste?
I guess it makes sense that there'd be
Ooh.
more garbage, but
Oh, I'm paranoid.
do you want to try to get down to the right more, or...
I guess, yeah.
Oh my... Okay, we're gonna get lost fast, let's do it.
Oh my god, this is designed for you to get lost, isn't it? Oh, this is so designed for you to get lost down here.
It's okay. We have... Oh, there's a shelter down, it says.
Oh, you're right.
I'm waiting for one of those to be like a trick.
I'm looking for drop wigs. This looks really pretty, by the way. Oh, there's the shelter. This looks really pretty.
This is gorgeous.
Really good pixel art. I don't actually know what custom region this is.
All the slanted stuff is
The slanted
really
stuff's gorgeous.
cool.
Honestly, it kind of makes me disappointed that there isn't more like slanted stuff in the original game.
Well, it's tile based, so you can only do
Right, you can only
like
do so
very
much.
specific angles, and that's why I'm so freaking impressed by like.
Right. That almost makes me wish for like a mod that like adds some more detail to the world, even if it's just a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah, you go first. Oh,
Okay.
you got a lunch?
Lunch.
Oh, oh, that's not great. Come here.
Oh.
Got him once. Got him
Even
twice.
with the camera work.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Oh my god. You got me.
Okay, gonna eat and go back in the shelter.
I'm liking these extra lizard skins. The pretty flavors. Chowing down. I think that takes care of him for next cycle, right?
For sure.
Yeah, you can see that the diagonal's a little bit messy, but it still looks really nice.
It looks amazing.
I never got the... Why can you move like the little line around in the hunger?
So that's to do with starving, because like in the base game, I think it's a interaction between the mod you have that keeps it from letting you go to sleep.
No, you can do that in the base game.
Yeah, that's for starving. If you don't have enough food, you can starve yourself and it won't save the game, but you survive the rain, essentially.
Well, this guy's back?
Guess he's here. Here, take his spear.
Oh my god. Stuff.
Oh my god.
This guy is doesn't have any shield.
Got quite the snapper on him.
Take the spear.
He's got like a rain.
Take the spear.
Nice.
Oh my god. Take the spear. Okay, there we go.
Nice.
Just stop moving. Alright. Alright.
Yeah, I really like the shelter.
Yeah, this shelter's really starting to feel like home.
Mm-hmm.
I know you said you didn't like the outdoor leg thing, but that actually kind of has me intrigued, like as to why.
It's not that I didn't like it. It felt wrong because
it did feel
it was
weird.
like deja vu, but
Right, it was like a
different,
weird sense of deja vu.
yeah, yeah.